Black Lives Matter. How USDA loan program violates their own rules and regulations, defeat the dream of affordable housing and subsidy for minority farmers in the rural area. Purpose of this presentation is to inform the importance of hiring qualified personnel and the reason why. Area specialists should not work as loan specialists. On-the-job training does not work for all professions. USDA employee, 30 years, made several loans processing mistakes. Not qualified in the GS ranking system. Charles Mills, as administrative judge and hearing officer for the National Appeal Divisions, is not in position to give a fair, impartial ruling or hearing. Illegal to practice law without a license. National Appeal Division, 7 eligibility rules. The conflict of interest, work for the USDA and the NAD, is a conflict of interest. Trended data listed on my inquiry report as actual scheduled payments. Equifax Mortgage Solutions stated that they did not put trended data on my credit inquiry report, but trended data was put on my credit inquiry report. Rule 3.9 needs to come off the book. All rules and regulations need to be voted on by Congress. USDA Handbook HB-1-3550 needs to be put in the public library. Not everyone have access to the internet. The history of HB-1-3550.53, the Field Handbook, 7 eligibility rule. All 50 states receive the same regulation from Congress. All states are treated the same. Why an unjust law is no law at all. Rule 3.9. Rule 3.9, withdrawing and rejecting application. The unjust law for putting a second new application in an inactive file needs to be taken off the book. You, the applicant, and the public, taxpayer, should resist this unfair ruling in order to reapply for a loan. The word should make this law discriminatory. The word should allow the agent to pick and choose who they put in the active and inactive file. HB-1-3550 is the rule and regulation field handbook for all 50 states. USDA GOV HB-1-355.53. USDA program is a great program. The purpose of the program is to help improve the livelihood of low-income to moderate-income individuals by giving them an opportunity to get affordable homes built by building contractors or the opportunity to build affordable homes on their own land in the urban area. To get this loan, according to the USDA website, is as easy as ABC if you meet all of the 7 eligibility requirements incorporated into Field Handbook. Reason I continued the loan program was because of Rule 3.9. After applying for a loan and deciding to withdraw for any reason, if you apply again, your application should be put into an inactive file. The word should makes this rule discriminatory, which means that everyone who applies again is not treated the same. I did not want to take the chance of my application being put into an inactive file. The reason for my loan denial was unfair debt load. The appeal was requested on the 9/22, 2016. I really believe that Mr. Charles Mills was an administrative judge lawyer. Mr. Mills stated at the hearing that he was a hearing officer. An administrative law judge is also considered a hearing officer. The reason why Mr. Mills was allowed to be a hearing officer, pursuant to 7 U.S.C. 6996 statute, defines a hearing officer as an individual employed by the National Appeal Division who hears and determines appeals of adverse decision by any agency. This statute allows an employee to practice law without a license. The definition of an individual is a human being. Audience, we are all human beings. The statute needs to be amended to say a qualified individual in the GS ranking system who can interpret rules and regulations and statutes that come from Congress. Why a law judge is important. In my case, the employee judge, area specialists, and civil rights personnel had worked together for the USDA. The conflict of interest is an employee working for the USDA and then later as an administrative judge. If the administrative judge had been a lawyer, then the ruling in my case would possibly be fair because the lawyer would not be in the same social circle as the area specialist and the civil rights leader. There would be no conflict of interest. Federal government set the ethnic standards. The federal government is supposed to set the ethnic standards of administrative judge lawyer competence level can be measured. Administrative judge employee competence level cannot be measured. Accountability and competencies for ruling is unknown. Reason for the appeal. I was hoping that the administrative judge would rule on whether the area special was qualified to process builder loans. If this ruling was no, then I would be able to go to a loan specialist and have my loan processed so I would be given a loan. Applicant argument job description cannot be defined. Not qualified as a loan specialist by GS ranking system. Excessive credit inquiries, 3rd to 17 on the 3rd to 23rd and 5th to 16th in 2016. Calculate self-employment wrong. Violation of the timing rule. Credit score is supposed to be updated every 120 days. Mine was every 60. Income driven not considered because of low score. No regulation says not to accept income driven because of low score. No score was needed. 0 was qualifying. What the applicant had to show was credit history, rental history, and Form RD 1944-61. Trending data, only actual data was supposed to be used. Agency stated that they could not tell what part of the $6,000 was car expense. All the $6,000 was car expense. It stated on line 20 of the IRS Self-Employment 1040. The area specialist refused to accept student loan income forgiveness because of a credit score of 627 and put the amount that I had been paying for the last 3 years of $56 in my debt ratio. The area specialist put 1% of my student loan, $659 in my debt ratio because of a score of 627. The argument of the 627 credit score was not supposed to be used. Only 674 on my credit report, which means I qualified for the loan based on credit score. Student loan is based on 10% of discretionary income. Area special violate 3 credit scores. TMCR shows my middle credit score and rules of using the middle score of 674. Left side was the agency loan payment based on wrong information by the area specialist in the wrong county, Wake. And the right side is information based on right information by the applicant based on a poor county. While most poor applicants will need help is in the loan subsidy program for housing in the rural area. The minimum wage is less than $8 an hour. Not enough to qualify for a $100,000 to $180,000 home. It would be better for the government to help these individuals by giving these individuals subsidy to help pay than to have to pay more money for the same people to stay in low-income housing or the project. Why? The rent is so much higher on taxpayers than paying subsidy money to help poor individuals own their own home. In 1984, the government paid $1,000 a month for me to stay in low-income housing. Very high rent. The housing apartment did not have a back door. That same apartment, you could easily get it for between $300 and $400 a month. A person will have to make $15 an hour in order to get housing in the rural area at $800 a month. Example of hiring unqualified personnel. Area specialists for loan program. Wake up. USDA is guilty of discrimination against minority farmers. Minority farmers lost farm business as a result of subsidy denial and the opportunity to matter. USDA only building loan that guarantee a loan by government for low to middle income for $200,000 plus. Please allow other financial institutions to approve and distribute this loan to eligible public based on 7 eligibility rules. FDA minority banks. Enlightenment, public awareness. USDA field handbook needs to be put in the public library. Internet is not available in some areas of the rural area. Computers are not available in some of the rural households. Everyone needs access to the UNIFI data file that stores their record. Write your congressman, legislator, and let them know that the USDA government set the ethnic standard and hired unqualified personnel needs to stop. Stop assigning unqualified employees in the GS ranking system to process loans or judge employees to appeal cases when a qualified employee is required in the GS ranking system or should be hired. The public needs to know the qualification of the judge that is hearing these cases. Wake up, wake up. You do have a voice. Write your congressmen, legislators. The key to economic prosperity and affordable housing is being able to get a loan. Let your congressmen know that the only way that fairness is going to be given in all government programs is to insist on hiring of qualified personnel under the GS ranking system. If you, the taxpayer, keep allowing unqualified employees to have power over your rights to loans and other government programs, then you, minority taxpayer, will continue to live in an oppressed state. The 7 eligibility rules are non-discriminatory. The agency handbook, Rule 3.9, is discriminatory. My case is an example of what happens when you, the taxpayer, accept unqualified personnel to process your application. In the GS ranking system, your title is your qualification for a job, and that is the reason why the area special was not listed as a loan special. A qualified loan special and a qualified judge lawyer ruling is based on knowledge, accountability, competency, and licensure. This is a congressional bill that I wrote to give Representative James Clyburn. Audience, I need your help to encourage him to present this bill to Congress. What I am hoping that qualified GS ranking civil service employee be used at all times to ensure fairness, honesty, and non-discriminating practice in all government programs. And this will help make sure that individuals that need affordable housing are being given the opportunity for housing. I applied for a loan in South Carolina and North Carolina. Denial was based on the amount of land, only 1 acre, and the other denial was because of credit score. All applicants that were denied a loan based on credit score being used in an adverse decision or denial was based on other discrimination practices that is not part of the rules and regulation in HB-3055-.53 be given an opportunity for a loan in the year 2022 and no inactive file be used. Thank you. I need everyone to sign the petition and send their paperwork to James Clyburn in Washington, D.C. You can compare the Milgram experiment to the USDA program in this rural county. The Milgram experiment has been done several times and the ending is always the same. Many of us lack the resources necessary to critically analyze moral issues and cannot resist authority figure even when they know that what they are told to do is wrong and could harm others. Hiring unqualified employees means that these individuals are going to have to depend completely on the authority figure in learning how to do their job. For example, if the authority figure tells the employer, regardless of how qualified a certain race is, you must find a reason not to give that person a loan. In case number 2016 S00648, that is what happened. The qualified employer, for example, a loan specialist, may have resisted the authority figure and just did her job in giving this person a loan. You can slow down the Milgram experiment, but never completely stop it, as long as you have authority figures who are willing to do wrong to others. The area specialist was actually rewarded at this agency. The area specialist was named the decision maker for the agency. The Milgram experiment is one reason why you must insist on qualified employers to run the USDA program. Please sign the petition and send to James Clyburn in Congress in Washington, D.C., or Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you.